So you are learning the lessons in life and love through your relationship, because when we were young, then we are absorbing all the different impressions. Yeah, we are not our intellect and our logic is not functioning when you were young. Yes, so you absorb the vibration around you. You feel, you feel. So the emotions are very very active. So you absorb and you feel. Okay? So therefore, when you were young, all the problems that you have in adult life, you have to oftentimes go back into when you were young, because when you were registering all these emotions in your subconscious mind, and you have no way how to work it out, okay? Because you have no reason, you have it, but it's not developed. So you cannot have another tool how to work it out, how to analyze it, how to understand it, how to reject it, how to take your portion and leave like this. So then it creates this strong impression in mind. So when you grow up and you try to find yourself, and you have the decision making and the thinking, then usually you have to go back there and then sort out the old impressions that are very deep within you. Without that, then you will keep projecting these old impressions into the present and into the future. So thus you just keep recreating the same karma and the same kind of wrong thinking, wrong decision, and that's how it's keep entangled. Life becomes very entangled and difficult. Sometimes it takes. I see many people that live there through the adult life to sort out these impressions in their mind when they were young, to father, mother, whatever. Or the worst would be some kind of abuse, some kind of trauma when you were young. Then it's very difficult to sort it out, because it's an emotional subconscious, very deep, and sometimes you are not. You go through life, but it's like you're missing a big part of yourself. And then you have to go back and heal that portion before you can become whole. So it is said in general, when you don't have yourself, when you don't have that healing process, then don't get into a relationship. Yeah? In the 12 steps, that is the advice. I'm very happy to hear that when I learned that from 12 steps, that about the teaching on addiction, the very important thing, that is how we are drawn to food and people, and how we, how the 12 step guides you not to enter when you are active addiction, and you try to recover yourself, then you not to get into any relationship, to abstain, because you don't have a chance. You don't have a chance to recover yourself and to heal unless you create a space around you, because it takes strength. It takes strength, maturity, self-knowledge in order to be in a close relationship. Because you are already sorting out the relationship that you had before, your relationship with yourself, which you don't know. We are discovering slowly your relationship with yourself. Who am I? By asking the question of who am I, and do self-inquiry. I am not this, I am not this. So that's a teaching. I am not my body, I am not my emotions, I'm not my memory, I'm not my mind. I am I am, like the teacher yesterday, Russell. What's his name? Peter Russell. Was talking about beautifully. He talked about the what is it? The I Ming, the being. Yeah? I Ming, the being, the existence, who you are. Yeah? So this is the background. This is the bottom line. Is the beingness or the being. Yeah? That doesn't have an object. That doesn't have object-subject split. That doesn't have somebody looking in. Yeah? Neither you looking out. The condition that we are in is that we all the time relating to somebody looking. You know? So you behave to please people, very much so. When you behave to please people in order to get the love that you want or crave, then at that time you are missing something. Because unless these people is considered to be gone, and otherwise you will not find yourself. You're all the time seeking for approval externally, and you don't know who you are. So to be who you are, you have to be strong. You have to be, be able to stand on your own feet. Yeah, think your own thinking and do some soul searching. And you have to accept to be alone. I say like this, and you will not like me, But I'm sorry. Not a question of like or dislike here. It's a question of the teaching here. You have to be accepting to be alone. Why? Because it is said that you are born alone and you go alone. Yeah? When you're born, you create a set of relationships so that you can learn. But then you would leave this earth alone. Whoever that you are attached to, whatever relationship, the closest, you have to leave it. And even when you don't have to wait until you die, to realize that lesson. Because even in life, you have some situation in life where you are alone. You have to solve that situation alone. You can get advice of your close one and get the support of your close one, but you are with your own karma and you are with God. Sometimes a mother loves the kid, the child, very much so. She's really ready to give her life to the kid. And the kid is in a situation, let's say the kid is sick. The kid is sick, and suffer. And the mother, what she will do? She can comfort, she can pray, she can give food, she can be there, present. But the kid is alone. And she feels very powerless. Because everyone has their own karma with themselves, with God. So that's the truth, that's the bottom line. So have this in perspective, then we would, see our life and our relationships in perspective. So we would build up the relationship with ourselves. With that in mind, then you will build up the relationship with ourselves and with love itself. Because ourselves, the bottom line, ourself is Satchidananda, means is pure love. Existence absolute, knowledge absolute, and bliss absolute. That means ourself is complete in itself, and it's pure love, pure bliss. No need anything to be happy. So that means, everything else will make you happy, this and that, People that you love, your friend, and so on, will make you happier, and so on and so forth. That's normal. But at the bottom line, in your own self, you have to understand that you and God, you and the true self. Everything else will make is a lesson to learn to open your heart and to see God in others, and to observe how your mind function and how your heart function, and then how to improve it. If you observe, then you see how your heart function. If you have that observation, when your heart shrink, when it reject, when it dislike something, and how it slowly open. When it get hurt, it close, and then it opens slowly. It embrace 1, 2, 3. It feels secure. 1, 2, 3, and then it reject the other, and then slowly, when you become more yourself, you become more, secure in yourself and more open and more, closer to yourself in the peaceful time of yourself. Then it's open more. It's open. It's all embracing, and then at that time you feel more happy. Yeah, it's not like the happiness that comes from the attainment of the desired object. It's not that. It's the happiness that is more constant, that is more yourself. Yeah, and you are just quite kind of, marvel how the happiness can be there without condition, without anything coming and going. Because normally you have this happiness that come with something coming and something going. Something coming, you are happy. Something going, you are unhappy. So it's like that. It's very conditioned. Your heart is very conditioned. Open and close, and like this. Yeah. But eventually, hopefully, you would be more. I throw this word in, and it will get you all confused. You'll be more discriminative. That means you'll be more. You have more intuitive sense of something that is more real about you, yeah, and something that is your habitual behavior, but you try to move out of it, because we all the time evolve, yeah. So hopefully that's how you function, that all the time you're looking for evolution and for growth. And, the ego is always resisting. It thinks that, I know it already, that's it, finish. I want to be secure what I know, and that's it, finish. Anything else, is out of my way. So that's not really the way. So we have to keep ourselves all the time open, because, the true love and the true self is what we want. So therefore, we have to let go of the other kind of very strong kind of desire, impulse, and craving, and attachment, which are our luggage. Yeah? I mean, we grow up with that. We grow up with all this instinct, emotion, craving, desire from past, hurt experiences, luggage. So we have to, through the practice of meditation and self-inquiry, you can work all this out, and then you are facing a brilliant future. You're facing your, your peace in your heart. You're facing your love in your heart. You're facing that expansion of consciousness, that expansion of love, you can say, yeah, so that you can embrace a reality that is much more stable, yeah, and that which give you that joy, that peace and that joy, that you are really looking for. Yeah, that's what it is. The bottom line, that's what we are looking for. Yeah, and the short-term high and the short-term, desire, it's our pattern. It's our compulsive, pattern that we need to work out. Okay, so in the workshop we did draw the design, but some of you were not in the workshop. Of a pendulum. The pendulum swinging to one end is called like, yeah, not love. It's like. Sometimes you use the word love, but it's not. We would have to use different words, otherwise you get confused. Love is nothing wrong with love. Love is your birthright. But you have this idea of love with condition and with ego, with condition, with emotion, of desire. So usually we call it love, but it's called like. Yeah? So you swing into this way, you go so high, you feel so good, yeah, wonderful. And then it would drop down. Because your mind, when it swings this way, for sure it will swing that way. So that's a problem. Yeah, swing this way or swing this way. So therefore, your mind will go up and down, like a roller coaster. Finally, when you get to know yourself more, but you understand that it's not worth it to go to the high and then to hit the low. It's too high of a price to pay. Yeah? Then you would become more mature, so you would not search for the high so that you don't, experience the low. And that you would have to have that connection with oneself will become a little bit more. Yeah? When you are able to, settle, accept something that is not exactly what you're craving or you desire or you fantasize, yeah, but you become more mature. Yeah, you become more mature, so you would not settle for this temptation, yeah, of instant result. Yeah, that's what we are. We are very kind of desperate, sometimes looking for love, looking for comfort, looking for knowledge, looking for light, looking for security. So sometimes we just settle for less, for instant result. And then again, problem. So we become more mature, then we would derive, when we become more mature, when we would know ourselves more, at that time we will derive that love and that peace and that joy and that happiness from within. When you derive that love and peace and happiness from within, that means you know yourself, then you are not losing anything. So this is the wrong thinking when we are still in that mode. If I'm going to drop this, I would be just so lonely and desperate, and I will lose everything. My life would not be worth it. It's a wrong thinking. It's a thinking of the past. But you cannot reproduce that past. You have to visualize something better for yourself. You're not losing anything. You are actually gaining a lot. Yeah? When you're going to find yourself and you have that love within you, you would love other people. Yeah? So then you are not only having one friend, but you have a lot of friends. You're not having one love, but you have a lot of love. Yeah? Because that which you gain from within you, it will show up outside of you. That's what it is. Because what is in our mind will be projected externally. If they are through the adult life to sort out these impressions in their mind when they were young, with father, mother, whatever. Or the worst would be some kind of abuse, some kind of trauma when you were young. Then it's very difficult to sort it out because it's an emotional subconscious, very deep, and sometimes you are not, you go through life, but it's like you're missing a big part of yourself. And then you have to go back and heal that portion. So you are learning the lessons in life and love through your relationship, because when we were young, then we are absorbing all the different impressions. Yeah, we are not our intellect and our logic is not functioning when you were young. Yes, so you absorb the vibration around you. You feel. You feel. So the emotions are very very active. So you absorb and you feel. Okay. So therefore, when you were young, all the problems that you have in adult life, you have to oftentimes go back into when you were young. Because when you were registering all these emotions in your subconscious mind, and you have no way how to work it out, okay? Because you have no reason, you have it, but it's not developed. So you cannot have another tool how to work it out, how to analyze it, how to understand it, how to reject it, how to take your portion and leave like this. So then it creates this strong impression in mind. So when you grow up and you try to find yourself and you have the decision making and the thinking, then usually you have to go back there and then sort out the old impressions that are very deep within you. Without that, then you will keep projecting these old impressions into the present and into the future. So thus you just keep recreating the same karma and the same kind of wrong thinking, wrong decision, and that's how it's keep entangled. Life becomes very entangled and difficult. Sometimes it takes. I see many people that live before you can become whole. So it is said in general, when you don't have yourself, when you don't have that healing process, then don't get into relationship. Yeah? In the 12 steps, that is the advice. I'm very happy to hear that when I learned that from 12 steps. That about the teaching on addiction. The very important thing, that is how we are drawn to food and people, and how we how the 12